You're listening to the Rise series of the Reconditioned podcast. And if you've been following the same patterns and habits your whole life and not reaching your goals because of it, I'm going to tell you exactly why nothing has worked and offer the transformative tools you need to start making that shift towards success. Here goes.
Your personality creates your personal reality.
Authentic power is when your personality comes to serve the energy of your soul.
The truth is the body is one ecosystem. You can get to the root cause and everything goes away.
Welcome to the Reconditioned podcast, where I use my knowledge and expertise of over a decade in the wellness and transformation world to take a deep dive into what makes us thrive as humans. I'm Lauren Vaknine, leading wellness and transformation coach, and following my remission from the rheumatoid arthritis I'd had for 27 years that left me wheelchair-bound by the age of 18, I created a unique coaching combination, conflating physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of self to create true, long-lasting well-being in all senses of the word. This podcast is one of the many free resources I've created to help you achieve the same. Whether you're suffering from chronic illness, raising children in a world of conflicting information, you're an entrepreneur wanting to step into your purpose, or you simply want to feel empowered and motivated to become the best version of yourself, join me along with expert guests as we uncover the most actionable and tangible ways to recondition ourselves back to wellness. This season of Reconditioned is sponsored by Block Blue Light, the world's leading supplier of blue and artificial light blocking products, including blue light glasses and blue blocking lighting solutions. Blue light blocking products aim to alleviate digital eye strain, improve sleep, and optimize health through mitigating the harmful effects of artificial light from screens and modern lighting. For a 10% discount across the range, visit blockbluelight.co.uk and enter the code Lauren10. Thank you to Block Blue Light. Welcome back to Rise, a series within the Reconditioned podcast where there's no guest, just me offering you some life coaching tools and wisdom to hopefully help you rise. And today, as you would have gathered by the title and the intro, I am talking about manifestation. And why am I talking about manifestation? Well, because it's a passion of mine. I teach it to clients and it's one of my favorite modules to teach in the Recondition Your Life Academy. And I love talking about it because there is a method to it. There's a formula that isn't really spoken about in all these manifestation books and all this stuff about positive thinking. They're all missing a fundamental piece. So people have been led to believe that it's something different to what it actually is on a quantum level. And so I want to spend this episode debunking all that and talking you through exactly how it works and how you can make it work for you. So manifestation is not think positively, create a vision board, and then sit back and wait for the universe to do the work for you. No, my friend. It's a far more complex process than that. But it's complex in how it works, but it's actually simple to achieve. And it's a process that involves you working alongside the universe, co-creating with the universe to manifest your desires. So the universe is trying to achieve two things with you. Number one, it's giving you what you're asking for, and we will go into that in a bit. Number two, it's constantly trying to get you back to operating from a place of authenticity, to a place where your higher self leads the way over your ego self. So when I say authenticity and higher self, this isn't about being authentic on Instagram or not wearing makeup. This is about moving back into being who you were meant to be before any life crap like labels and trauma, whether that's big T or little t trauma, forced you into being something else. Now, based on the work I've done over the years with spiritual healers and guides, teachers, and other learning I've done in quantum physics and the quantum field, because I'm like super passionate about the quantum field, I believe that that everything that the universe sends our way, whether that's good or bad, but even those words are too binary and comes down to perception, but we'll go with it for now. It's to guide us back to this place of authenticity, to a place of high self-worth and self-mastery, where you know yourself inside out and trust yourself implicitly. That is the goal here, okay? When we operate from that place, we're experiencing what we call heart-brain coherence. And we become magnets for the things we do want. Now, I'd like to go into a little bit about how the ego self plays a role here, because it's important in how we get to a place of being, as Gabby Bernstein puts it, a super attractor. And in my core essence and purpose module on the Recondition Your Life Academy, I go into this in great detail about how we get back to our core essence. So the ego self is essentially the mask we put on to be accepted in the world, based on all the conditioning from over the years that leads us to the ideas we have about what's not acceptable. It's our shadow. But here's the thing, we do have this human body. We are living human lives, right? And humans need to be adaptable. So we can't see the ego as being all bad. We have to see the ego as the place for convergence between the quantum realm and the 3D reality that we live in. And I heard someone called Miguel Franco, who's a consciousness engineer, talk about this once. He described it as, we need something to help us adapt when being human, and that something is the ego. And the interaction or coherence between both the ego and the higher self, that's our core essence. Now, without understanding yourself fully, without knowing your core essence, without operating from this place of authenticity and purpose, the law of attraction will be working for you, but not in your favor. Okay, so here's the hot tip. We are where our attention is. What I mean by that is that the law of attraction is working for you. It has always been working for you, but maybe it's just been working to your detriment. So here's an example. Have you ever woken up in a bad mood and your day starts off horribly and then somehow everything else in the day goes wrong? That's the law of attraction. You're creating more of what already is. Or maybe you give yourself labels like, I'm so clumsy, and then you drop things and you trip over all the time. This was so me, okay? I did this all the time. I was the clumsy person. Everyone told me I was clumsy. I was always told my whole life I was clumsy. But then I realized that it was because I had arthritis from a baby, and so I couldn't grip things properly or walk the way I was meant to because my feet would do weird things to kind of try and minimize the pain. And when I realized that, it made more sense. But then I got into remission and I was still clumsy. Why? Because I had taken on that identity. I was still dropping things and tripping over myself when my hands weren't stiff and my legs were walking normally. So when I realized that's what was happening, I stopped allowing people to call me clumsy and I stopped seeing myself like that. And guess what? I am not clumsy anymore. No one's called me clumsy for a long time. So as I spoke about in the Rise episode about shifting identity, I think that was episode 49, the last Rise episode, we have to change the identity behind the habits before the habits can stop. Once we shift our identity into being someone who manifests what we want, that becomes more possible. The universe wants to give you what you want, okay? It does. But if it thinks you want to be clumsy because that's what you're telling yourself, and everyone around you that you are, you'll continue being clumsy. If the universe gets the hint that you want to be struggling financially, because even if you say, I want more money, your actions and your identity don't create coherence with that, and there's cognitive dissonance there, it will keep you being poor. Now, this is usually the point where the penny drops and people are sitting there going, oh. So if that's you, hit the rewind button, listen to this again and listen to it until it really sinks in. And if it really resonates, screenshot this bit and share it on your story so other people can hear it too. Okay, so now I'm going to talk you through how it actually works. So everything is energy. There isn't anything that isn't energy. Now, quantum physics has shown us that everything that exists in the universe has a vibrational structure, and everything vibrates at different frequencies. So your dining table and your dog both have a vibration, but the dining table will be vibrating at a lower frequency than your dog, because your dog is alive, And a wooden dining table will probably be vibrating at a higher frequency to a plastic one because it came from the earth, but they're all vibrating at certain energetic frequencies. And thoughts vibrate at certain energetic frequencies too. We as humans decide how high or how low we allow our vibrational frequency to operate at. So for anyone sitting there thinking that this seems too abstract, I want you to close your eyes right now, put your arms out, and feel the energy in your hands. You will notice your arms, your hands gently but perceptively vibrating. Can you feel it? That is energy. You are made of energy. Everything that is exists as a result of interactions between energy fields, which means vibration precedes manifestation. Vibration precedes manifestation. And I love how James Wedmore puts this. He says, manifestation is physical evidence of a dominant frequency. Don't you just love that? Now, understanding perception is a massive part of this because perception is really all this physical world really is. And the book Biocentrism by Robert Lanza is an amazing insight into this. It is deep, but it's incredible. It takes us deep into that age-old philosophical question of, if a tree falls in a forest but no one was there to hear it, did it really fall? Now, this isn't actually philosophy, it's consciousness, or biocentrism. And understanding that our consciousness is needed in order for something to actually take place in a physical sense is paramount to understanding the law of attraction. So the law of attraction is very similar to the law of gravity in that way. You can't see it, and you often aren't consciously aware of it. But if you observe it closely, you can very, very easily see the law in action. And take into account the idea that like attracts like. If you want to call something into your life, you have to be vibrating at a frequency similar to the thing that you're calling in. Which isn't easy if we're not living from a place of authenticity, if we're living out of alignment. Your external world reflects your internal world. No matter what work you do on your external self, the results you see from manifestation will not be the ones you want until your internal world shifts to a place of high self-worth, abundance, self-mastery, and deservingness. We'll be back to the episode really soon, but first, a quick word from our sponsors. So regular listeners will know that I only affiliate with brands whose products I already use and trust. Integrity is one of my company's core values, and I feel really strongly about knowing that my listeners can be in full trust about any product I endorse. I personally contacted Block Blue Light UK after using their blue blocking glasses when I had to start working later into the evening. I began wearing the blue blockers because I was aware of what being exposed to the artificial blue light of my laptop would do to my circadian rhythm if I was working after dark, and especially because we spend so much time on them during the day. After using them for a few months, there was a noticeable difference in how quickly I was able to fall asleep after finishing work not that long before. During the lockdowns and homeschooling my son, I also got him a kids pair, and he now wears them anytime he's at a screen, not just after dark. And I feel really strongly about how important it is for both us and our children. Now, if you've never heard of blue light blocking, and this is the first time you're hearing it, studies have shown that artificial blue light from screens, devices, and all modern lighting are having detrimental effects on our health. Artificial blue light disrupts our sleep, interferes with our hormones, and causes digital eye strain, which can lead to long-term eye health issues. Since using the glasses myself, and by the way, they do amazing fit-over glasses that fit seamlessly over any glasses you might already have to wear, which has been priceless for me because I have to wear my glasses when I'm at a screen. I've noticed better sleep quality and an improvement in the thyroid issues I was struggling to balance out fully since having my kids. Bonus! Since Block Blue Light's sponsorship for last season, hundreds of you have made a decision to improve your health and your sleep by ordering their products, and I'm only hearing positive things. which was exactly my intention for this collaboration. So to check out all of Block Blue Light's incredible health boosting products, including day and nighttime glasses, blue light blocking light bulbs, and 100% light blocking sleep masks to help you into a deeper sleep, visit blockbluelight.co.uk and use the code Lauren10 for a 10% discount. That's blockbluelight.co.uk and use the code Lauren10. Thank you so much to Block Blue Light. So here's an example. I've been working with a client who's just been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease and it's totally debilitated her. And when we started working together, understandably, she was just focused on how awful it was and wanting it to be over and being so upset that she didn't know when or if it ever would be. And of course, when I told her that that was victim mentality, she was really offended. But when I explained to her that the victim mentality is what keeps her focusing on what she doesn't want, as opposed to what she does want, she started to get it. So now, instead of spending her hospital appointments focusing on how awful it is to be there, I've asked her if she can find one positive about each time she's there and visualize her future, co-create it with the universe, instead of constantly telling the universe how awful things are right now. Because what if the universe has huge plans for her and that's exactly why she's in this situation? Just like I was when I spent 27 years of my life being some variation of disabled. Of course, I didn't want to be like that. But everything I'm doing now is a result of what I learned from that. And all the people I've helped to heal were able to heal as a result of that. Talk about the bigger picture, right? My purpose was to help heal the collective, not just myself. But if I'd not been as ill as I was, I wouldn't have worked as hard as I did to find the answers, and I wouldn't be in a position today to show others the way to healing. If we can look beneath the perception of how good or bad something is and allow it to lead us back into being our authentic selves, what the universe is trying to get us back to being, anything becomes possible. Energetic deaths and rebirths are essential for growth to enable us to become the proverbial caterpillar whose life is confined to a tree branch until she goes into a long darkness, a cocooning, shedding everything she's ever known in a very difficult experience in order to become the butterfly she never, ever realized she was destined to be. These deaths, these rebirths, rock bottoms, whatever you want to call it, they're essential for us to shed and evolve to the next level of our spiritual journey, our soul evolution. If you focus on what you don't want, your energy is on that. That puts you in a victim mentality. If you focus on what you do want, your energy is on that. Which one do you think will yield more positive results? No matter what work you do on your external self, the results you see from manifestation won't be the ones you want until your internal world shifts to a place of high self-worth, abundance, self-mastery, and deservingness. I've said it again. Now, you know I love to give y'all practical ways to implement this stuff. So here it is. I don't know why I always say y'all, like I'm from Texas or something. It just makes it sound more relatable, right? So I'm going to give y'all practical ways to implement this stuff. So here it is. It's a 4-step manifestation formula. Number 1, show up and be committed to doing the work needed to reprogram what isn't serving your authentic self. So this is the inner child work, the trauma release, self-love, ancestral healing, reprogramming those limiting beliefs and all that good stuff that I love. Number 2, be in a place of high self-worth, self-mastery, and authenticity based on your core essence. Number 3, put your attention where you want the results to be, not where you are. And number 4, trust in the universe to do the rest. If you have done all the above, then you can surrender it. And in terms of trust, that means you don't focus on the how. The how is of no concern to you. I have had the most incredible manifestations show up in the most strange and unimaginable ways. The universe works in subtle and dynamic ways, and it comes up with ways of implementing our manifestations that we would never even think to consider. And here's a hint. It ain't going to be the 1 million check coming through your door each time you ask for it. So don't focus on the how. Just surrender to the process once you've done all the work. This is how I like to see it. You set the intention, you surrender it to the quantum field, and you allow it to exist within the energy of the quantum field and come back to you the way it's meant to. That's how manifestation works. And guess what? I have put together a little free resource for you so that you don't even have to take notes here. Maybe you have done already, probably should have said that at the beginning, but I've done all the hard work for you. Except I also advise always taking notes because I'm a big note taker. But you can get the link for the download in the show notes. And as I said on the last episode, I often offer you guys these free resources. And don't assume that there is no value in it because it's free. I want to offer you value. I want to serve here. That is why I'm here. You know, the podcast is free and that's adding value, hopefully. So go to the show notes, download the free resource. It will help you kind of make sense of and implement everything I've spoken about today. So I really hope you enjoyed this and it added value and enjoyment to your day. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for choosing to listen to Reconditioned today. I'd be so grateful if you could subscribe and maybe even leave a review if you enjoyed this episode. And better still, if you could share with friends and family who could benefit from the content, that's what I'd really love. I just want us to share the love so that everyone can understand how to use an integrative approach to life and health. For more free resources, visit laurenvaknine.co.uk and laurenvakninecoaching.com.